The rate of deaths due to suicide exceed 800,000 people each year globally. This means that one person, he or she, takes their own life every 40 seconds. That is heartbreaking. Did you know that suicide is the second leading cause of death among young adults between the ages of 15 to 24 years old? I'm Toyino Kanuga. I'm the author of Hush to Roar. Hush to Roar is my memoir. It's a story of love, childhood trauma, but most importantly, my recovery. Hush to Roar became the #1 new release book on the 18th of October 2020. I am your inspirational mindset expert in ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. Why do I qualify as an expert? One, it's to do with my many years of research into what happens to children in their brains when they have experienced adverse events. What happens, or what is the impact of those events as an adult, my research. It is also as a result of various certifications such as young adults and their mental health. Another one that I also acquired was childhood adversity, the maltreatment of children. And the third is my certification in Introduction to Practical Cognitive Therapy. But most profoundly, the reason why all those theoretical aspects translate to me being an expert is the practical experience I had as a child, which were so many adverse events, including sexual abuse from the age of 12 until I turned 15. So my business, also known as Hush to Roar, is for men, women, young adults who want to reach their inner child. My deliberate and actionable steps let you realize that you just want to reach for that inner child that needs a hug from you. And that hug that's needed is 1, looking after yourself. 2, believing in you, believing that you have everything within yourself to heal. And 3, for seeking help so that you can heal from deep inside. Thank you for joining me today, where I'll be talking to you about the 4 reasons why we need to switch from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset when it's concerning sexual abuse, childhood sexual abuse. So the 4 reasons, there are even more, but I narrowed it down to 4. And they are so important these days, during these times, these unprecedented times. If we have a fixed mindset about the impact childhood sexual abuse has on our children later in life, we could be heading for a disastrous, we could be heading for disastrous years to come as a result of these years now. But if we have an open growth mindset to say that this is all our business, we will better help our children and young adults cope. So the first one is the reason why we need to move from a fixed to a growth mindset is that we will be helping to improve the resilience of our children during tough times. So if we stop and see that, wow, this person is at risk of sexual abuse, or we actually see or know someone who's doing that horrific act, and we stop it because we see that that impact that it's going to have on that child will affect them later on in life, and not think, oh, when they become adults, they just forget about it. We will be improving their resilience during these times. I mentioned the statistics of suicide, didn't I? And most of them stem from what has happened to our young adults as a child. So during these unprecedented times, they become more vulnerable. So if we all do our little bit in raising awareness, in being our brother's keeper, calling the authority when we see that something is not quite right, we would help improve the resilience during these times. The second one is, if you have a brother or sister, better academic performance. So if we slash that shame on the head and guilt and say, you know what, I'm going to shout, I'm not going to protect you, I'm going to report because I know it's affecting this child's academic performance and their career potential later in life. Again, it's having that growth mindset, to have that holistic view of the impact that childhood sexual abuse will have later on. We will make sure that that child has better academic performance. If we see that that child is at risk, we are going to report whoever's doing it or bring it to the awareness of someone who can help that child. That's the second one. The third is the perpetrators will know that they have nowhere to hide because everyone's got their eyes on them, because we are all being aware. That is again moving from a mindset of fixed thinking, you know what, I want to be loyal to this person. That child or that young adult will get over it. But you know what, my loyalty stays here. No. When we feel that if that could happen to someone so close, I'm now referring to family member, you will know that it could happen to someone that you love. So when we see that growth in our mindsets, we will know that we all are responsible for doing our little bit here. And the fourth one, the final one, is we reduce suicide rates. You'll be amazed. The statistics I read out at the beginning, most of them sadly stem from childhood abuse because they have no emotional stability to cope. Their minds keep ringing back, and we need to stop that. We need to say that what happened to us as a child does have later devastating impact on us as adults. So at the bottom of these posts, you'll see a lot of websites where you can reach and go and read if anything that I've spoken about here has affected you in any way. I've got websites from Befrienders Worldwide. You can view their website link, from YoungMinds, from Harmless, and from NICE. The NICE stands for National Institute for Health and Care Excellence. So please go and see the links. I've also got, I've mentioned books that you can go to see, look at. And one of them is called, Am I Depressed? And What Can I Do? And that's written by Reynolds and Parkinson. And the second one is Teenage Depression, a CBT Guide for Parents by Parkinson and Reynolds. And CBT is Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. I release videos Tuesdays and Fridays, and I'm delving deeper now. I started with looking after yourself and very light-hearted videos. I'm delving deeper because desperate times call for desperate measures, and I'll be talking more about my own personal experience too. So please press that subscribe button now, but also smash that notification bell so that you can get notified on the days I release. But also comment below. Let me hear from you, please. Let me hear from you. Let this be a dialogue where we can both communicate. Comment. What else do you want me to talk about? when it concerns adverse childhood experience, please let me know. If you want to really know a lot about me, Hosh to Raw, read. It's on Amazon, on my website, www.hoshtaraw.com/my book. There are also 3 ebooks at the bottom. Pick 1, 2, or the 3. But yes, please, and comment, like my video if you feel anything that I've said here has resonated with you, but also has taught you one thing or the other. So I would implore you guys that we are all in this together. And I love you. Remember, your inner child has a voice. Don't suppress it. Let it roar. Thanks for watching.